Environment Canada issued an extreme cold warning for much of southwestern Alberta earlier today. It was a cold one this morning. Wind chill values hovering around minus 35 degrees. Jeanette Roche is now with a full look at the weather forecast. Jeanette, fortunately, it appears as though things may be warming up by quite a bit fairly soon.
Yes, and it is about time to, Hal. We are still dealing with those high wind chill values on Saturday morning, but the daytime high is -5, bringing us back into that seasonal range, up to -8 on Sunday. And then look at that for Monday, all the way up to -1. Then we get into the pluses, 7 degrees on Tuesday, 4 degrees on Wednesday, and all the way up to 8 degrees for a high on Thursday, rounding out that 7-day forecast, bringing us above the average high for this time of year. So the average high is -2 and the average low for this time of year, -14. 17, that was our high temperature on this day recorded back in 1944, and in 1969 we were sitting at a chilly -35. Sun rose this morning at 8:20 and our sunset this afternoon is 5:05 p.m. We're now looking at 8 hours and 45 minutes of daylight. We are 2 minutes longer than we were yesterday for the daylight. Temperature sitting at 5 degrees throughout the day in Victoria tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies as well. Temperature also steady tomorrow in Vancouver at 5 degrees. Looking at a 30% chance of showers in the morning. Now they are under a freezing rain risk this evening, particularly in the areas along the Coquihalla Highway. So we're looking at areas between Hope and Merritt, BC, looking at freezing rain that should be transitioning into showers and flurries by the morning. In Edmonton, -13 for a high, a mix of sun and cloud, although still dealing with the wind chill of -30, particularly in the morning. -7 for a high in Calgary, mix of sun and cloud. Same thing, looking at some wind chill values that aren't so friendly. In Saskatoon, -17 for a high, looking at extreme wind chilling at -35, risk of frostbite. -10 for a high in Regina, -13 in Winnipeg. Winnipeg seeing periods of light snow. In both Regina and Winnipeg looking at fairly gusty winds, 40 to 60 km there. In central Canada, we are looking at 30% chance of flurries in Toronto, -8 for a high, -8 the expected high in Ottawa tomorrow, also 30% chance of flurries. And we're looking at periods of snow in Montreal tomorrow with a high of -10. As we get into Atlantic Canada, we're also seeing quite a bit of snow there, but just kind of slight chances, 30% chance of flurries in both Fredericton and Halifax tomorrow, -4 for a high in Fredericton, -2 the expected high tomorrow in Halifax, 0 for a high in Charlottetown, looking at 2 to 4 centimeters of snow, so a little bit more snow there. And St. John's looking at a high of -2, looking at 60% chance of flurries following a wind and white squall warning this evening. Should just be some flurries tomorrow. So there you have it. That is your forecast.